All right, we need to have a chat about The Acolyte because I was incredibly enthusiastic about it. I reviewed episode 1 and 2, and then episode 3, I was still holding out hope that something cool was going to happen, and there is no new hope. Okay, it is gone. My enthusiasm for not only this series, but Star Wars is... I feel like it's completely diminished. Like, I loved this franchise. It's just all the constant changes, the want for it to be so woke. I don't know. I just can't. I can't deal with it anymore, man. Now, don't get me wrong, if there is some kind of movie or series or something that can rectify the damage that Disney has done, great, I'll probably try to get into that, but that was what Ahsoka was meant to be. People keep trying to believe that Disney will like wake up and realize where they've gone wrong, and it's not happening. So episode 3 of The Acolyte starts off with a bit of a backstory, right? Nothing wrong with that. You're getting to know the characters, and that's what I spoke about in my last sort of mini review for episode 1 and 2. It was just so boring. Okay, let's put the boredom aside. I may not like it, other people may love it. It's subjective, right? Every single major plot point, every single bit of character development that came from this episode contradicts everything we know about Star Wars, whether it's the fact that Anakin was the chosen one and he was the only one made by the Force. He had such a crazy high midichlorian count. Nope, he's not special anymore, okay? We have 2 more little babies being born through the Force. Anakin is not the only one. He's not the chosen one anymore. He's one of 3. The fact that Palpatine, even in the Disney shows, has been working so hard trying to develop this cloning technology to be able to create beings that can wield the Force, and he hasn't been able to do it. It's been impossible. But a bunch of witches from fuck knows where, they figured it out. In seconds, just 2 witches just doing some voodoo type stuff, and now they're making people that can wield the Force. And not just like wielding the Force in a casual fun way, but like these little twins were able to pretty much summon the Jedi from the Jedi Temple. They went out and hunted these kids because of how powerful they were. It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Like, it's got to be the team of writers on this show have got to have just sat down and thought, okay, what is every single thing that makes Star Wars what it is? What is everything that George Lucas wrote? What is the lore behind Star Wars? And then said, hey, you know what? Let's scrap it, okay? Let's just rewrite everything, as if the weird little retcons and things they have done in the past, as if they weren't already bad enough. They just decided episode 3 is going to permanently change not only Star Wars history, but everything we know going forwards. And that absolutely sucks, because this is stuff that we have been a part of since we were kids, since we were so passionate about this franchise and these characters. Even down to like the first episode of The Acolyte, where May took out a Jedi Master using a little dagger, and it wasn't even poisoned. There wasn't some like logical explanation for this sudden death from a tiny little thing. Like in Obi-Wan, you can just get stabbed and just walk straight on. There's no issues there. In Ahsoka, it happens as well. But in this, no, just a tiny dagger is enough to take out one of the most powerful Jedi. That's... And here's the thing, right? I've heard so many complaints about it being super woke, and it is. There's nothing we can do about that, and quite honestly, it's really not that big of a deal. Yes, it affects Star Wars, and the writing team is probably adamant on making sure there's a black character and an Asian character. We got the lesbians in. Yeah, they're in there. Can we get some of those in? Just to make sure we're including everybody? Fine, do the inclusion, put whatever you need to fill that bracket and make sure you're reaching all your different demographics. Fine, I understand that. Watch Doctor Who. Doctor Who has become one of the most woke shows in the world, and I still love it. It's great. The latest season of Doctor Who has actually been phenomenal. But not only does Star Wars make it feel forced when they're including all these different ethnicities and things like that, it feels like they are sat there with a checklist making sure that they've got a piece of everybody, a piece of everything. But that doesn't mean that you have to have shit writing. It doesn't mean that you have to change everything that made Star Wars Star Wars. I honestly have no idea what Disney is doing with this franchise anymore, and I'm out of hope. I think there are a couple of scenes from the trailer that we haven't actually seen in the show just yet. There's even the stupid little plot conveniences where May has this tiny little candle and it sets fire to the whole town. But like all of the witches, all of the villagers and whatever in this place just... died through a tiny little fire. It doesn't make sense. But even then, why would May be so hateful towards all of the Jedi? Like, all they did was show up. They didn't go around murdering everybody, so there's got to be more to it that we haven't seen. I know, it feels very weird, feels very strange. The writing, if this is it, if this is like the whole backstory, the whole reason May is so vengeful, it doesn't make sense. And I swear to God, if the Acolyte, right, the Sith person standing on the cliff and the knight's the lightsaber, if that ends up being May and Osha's mother, I swear to God, like, I'm thinking it's Plagueis, I'm thinking it's a real badass in the series. If it turns out to be the mum, I'm not going to be able to deal with that, okay? So honestly, where I'm at with Star Wars at the moment is I'm going to watch the rest of The Acolyte, and if it carries on going the way that it is, I'm out, man. And it sucks because I love this franchise, but they're just ruining everything that I enjoyed about Star Wars, to be honest. Like, I'm not enjoying even just watching the shows anymore. Like, I'm bored in every single thing. Ahsoka had some really cool fight sequences. The Mandalorian season 1 was pretty good. I even said that in the first episode, like, the fight choreography was getting better, so they were making improvements, but it felt like every single time they take one step forward, they retract from something that people were already pissed off about. So that's where my head is at. Anyway, I just wanted to sit down and rant about it for a minute because, like, dude, I love this fucking franchise. I love so many projects that Disney has made. I'm pretty sure Disney either invested or they're doing something to help out with the Doctor Who stuff, which is great. But there are so many incredible writers making projects for Disney at the moment. Can you not just bring some of those onto the Star Wars team rather than just keeping the same people that don't understand the lore? They don't understand what makes Star Wars so special to all of us fans that have been with it since the beginning. It doesn't make any sense to me, man. You've got budget, you've got everything you need. Just try to start giving a shit about the source material and stop thinking that it's like fans are attacking women and it's got to be a feminine thing. Bro, you can't replace midichlorians for estrogen. It doesn't work like that. Get better writers. That's it. The visuals are great. Well, the CG was a little bit weird in this episode with that one character that was, yeah, but other than that, for the most part, it's really good looking. All right, I'm done. I'm going to wrap this video up because I feel like I'm just rambling at this point. But let me know what you think about this whole situation with Star Wars and The Acolyte, because I don't know, man, this could be the straw that broke the bald man's back. Tune in next week where we're going to talk about something a little bit more positive, probably, hopefully. I'm thinking we'll review The Boys. That looks like a series I can get behind right now. I love your faces. You're amazing. You're beautiful. And I will catch you in the next one.